Another exciting 1010 Baltimore talk show. I'm happy to be back for another episode. We're talking about building the community within the community, and I'm excited to have a group here, special guests, Makings of a Man. And I want to introduce everybody to you. To my immediate left is Mr. Harry Bennett of Makings of a Man. To my far right is Mr. Melvin Willingham. What is your titles with the Makings of a Man? Is it y'all have titles with it? Co-owners or vice president, president?
We'll call it co-director.
Co-directors,
yes,
okay.
Sir.
Co-directors. And you guys brought with you some young men with you from the program. I have to my immediate right, Darius, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then, I forgot yours, which yours again? Makai and Lil Melvin, right? No? What is it? Davin? Davin. Okay, all right, I got it. All right, I'm bad with the names, as y'all can see. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad y'all was able to come out on the show.
Thank you for having us.
I've seen nothing but great things on Facebook, social media, for what you guys are doing. If one of you just want to kind of enlighten us on what is Makings of a Man, tell us about it.
Well, Makings of a Man is Male Youth Initiative. We are a family-oriented, faith-based mentoring program that caters to the young men, primarily here in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. Our main goal basically is just to encourage these young men to get a better understanding of their roles, their places in society, and how it correlates to their development as men.
Okay, that's great. So how did y'all come up with this? Were y'all like sitting in the basement or in the barbershop just having like conversation? Y'all just say, hey, we're gonna start tell me a little history about how you got started.
Okay, well, this actually started in the church.
Okay.
It started in the church, and it actually it's a hybrid. Okay. Because Makings of a Man, Male Youth Initiative, as you know from the past, that was a passion of my own.
Right.
But then our church, Greater New Hope Baptist Church, shout out to Dr. Linwood C. Robinson.
Okay.
This young man right here, Mr. Bennett, was actually part of the youth ministry that was spending time with these young men and the rest of the children at the church for homework help.
Okay.
And so I brought my young men to the homework help a few times, and I just, pulled them aside one day. We started talking, and we were like, you know what? This homework help is great, but these young men, they once a month just isn't enough.
Right.
They need this more. So next thing you know, we started pulling them together twice a month.
Okay.
Then we sat down again and said, hey, you know what? Twice a month just isn't enough.
Right.
Because the more time we spent with the young men, the more we started to realize what their real needs were. And so eventually it came to the point where we were meeting every week, sometimes on Saturday, sometimes on Thursday. Anytime that we can squeeze to spend time interacting with this group, not just these three, but right now we're about 16, 17 strong on a consistent basis. And as much time as we can spend with them. They were over the house Saturday night for a birthday party, and so we treat them like family, and we just, that's what they need. That's what they need, so we just try to give them as much time as we can. So that's the long and the short of it.
That's good. So is it each young man kind of paired with a mentor? Is it a group of mentors just kind of networking and building a group of young men? Like, tell me how it works in relationship to the mentorship.
I'll speak on that if you
Okay.
want. As far as the whole mentorship program, it's mainly myself and Melvin.
Mm-hmm.
His wife definitely is a very strong participant. We also did a lot of networking. Tavon Mason loves the kids. Ron Beezer, One More, One Less. We have a lot of networking that we do within the city. And our group tends to go from 16 to 40 real quick, or 50, or whatever the case may be. Like, this group is open, so
Gotcha.
we want to save as many young men as we can. We want to build leaders.
Gotcha.
And right here, this is our core three. These are our leaders right now of the group.
Okay.
And once again, without the help of all of these people, like people say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
So I mean, tomorrow it could be you.
Right.
You know, we need some more help. So come on through.
Hey, I ain't got a problem with it. I actually embrace and love mentorship, and I love being able to be that transparent young man, because I feel like I'm still young. You know what I mean? So, you know, I still got hair on my head, so I can consider I consider myself to be a young man.
Always a shot.
No, I'm joking with Melvin, but no, mentoring is something that 1010 Baltimore embraces, and we feel is very important, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to have you on the show, because we wanted to hear the story of what you guys are doing, because you guys didn't ask, you know, to be put on the spotlight or to be seen or for people to know what you're doing, but because I noticed you, I wanted to bring you out so people can see, the people who watch our shows, watch the broadcast, I wanted them to see some of the positive things that go on in our city, and I'm pretty sure that if I were to ask, you could attest to seeing young men who was in need of this program that you started.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and I'm pretty sure, and I'll just ask the question. I don't know who wants to answer it, but how do you feel this program would help our inner city youth?
How long do we have?
I'll go take your time, man.
I'll tell you, you know, personally, the time, that right there is the most important thing, the time. You know, it's one of the things that we say, you know, we gotta spend time with them now. Give them our time now, so a judge won't be giving them time later.
Wow.
You know, the time is the key factor, but not just the time, but what are you doing with the time? If you're spending time breaking them down, putting them down, not accepting them as they are, you know, and that happens to a lot of our young men throughout our communities. You know, when they look at TV, it puts them down. You listen to the radio, it's putting them down. You look on the movies, it's putting them down. You go to school, it's putting them down. You look at the textbooks, it's putting them down. That's primarily what they get, but what they don't receive enough is validation of who they are, where they are right now.
Right.
And that's what they need more of. They need, our young men need more time from other positive, like-minded men that they can trust, that will give them time, validating them for who they are.
Another alarming fact is with our skin color, I mean, I'm on the light spectrum of it, but on our skin color, we make up 75% of the prison population, you know, but we make a total of, 11, maybe 12% of the overall population. So if we can captivate their minds now, while the media is constantly destroying them, and constantly making them the victim, or constantly making them the animal that they think they could be, and we let them know that that's not what they are, you know, then we can actually move those mountains. As far as Baltimore as a collective, there's a lot of youth groups that are out here.
Right.
The problem is when can we come together?
Right.
So with this group, like you said, it's faith-based. So we talked about the body of Christ, and we talked about a hand. So with a hand, you have 5 fingers, you know, but when does it become a fist? When those 5 fingers come together. So our main purpose here is just to see how far we can build this, to see how many of these young men we can save, to see how many of these young men know that, you know, whether your father or your mother's in your life, or whether your grandmother's there, or whoever's raising you, you know, there's somebody else out there that cares about you, and it's a strong black man that's actually just there when the phone, when you need it, whether it be phone or you need to come see us or whatever the case may be, we're here with open arms. So, I mean, that's basically what I see as far as the group is concerned, and as far as Baltimore is concerned.
Now, Harry, are you from Baltimore?
Yes, I'm from Baltimore and kind of passed around, so yeah, I was born here.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. You from over east or over west?
Over west.
Over west. That's one of the things that go on in Baltimore, either over east or over west. Yeah. Melvin, you from Baltimore?
No,
You're not. Where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland,
Cleveland. Okay.
over east.
Over east. Okay, all right. Now,
East
how long you
side of
been?
Cleveland.
How long you been in Baltimore?
Oh man, I've been here as long as I can remember. I've been here since I was 7.
7 years old.
Been here since
So
I
you
was
from
7.
Baltimore?
I'm from
You know what I
Baltimore.
mean?
Yeah.
You from Baltimore?
Yeah.
Now, how old are you now? If I put you on the spot.
23. No, I just turned 43 this year.
Okay, 43.
Yes.
And Harry, how old are you?
I'm 31. I'll be 32 this year.
32 this year. All right. So this is a great example of how, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are, you know. So somebody that's 43 and somebody 31 to team up and say, we're going to collectively help young people because you see a need for it.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you mentioned that because see, although I'm 43,
Right.
you know, I'll be the first one to tell you I grew up after 30.
Wow.
You know, I grew up after 30, and you know, it's I mentioned before, it's what's happening when you're with these children. You know, I definitely don't want to put my father out there in a negative light. You know, my father did the best he could when he was doing it with what he knew and what he had.
Right.
Okay. As a father, I can critique mine and my father's relationship, and I can see just how much I missed.
Right. Right.
And why I grew up at 30.
Right.
You understand? And so, with that experience, that's why I pour so much into my own at an early age. But that's why I also see and can identify with what other young men that my wife didn't rear. I can see what they're doing. I can see what they're thinking. I can see how they respond to things, and I can know what they're going through because I can relate to it. And so it gives me a special, intimate insight into how we can help them. And so, you know, 43 and 31 is a really good mix. We have experiences that coincide with what they're going through.
Right.
And so that works for us.
Yeah. And I totally get that. I kind of have the same. I share the same testimony to an extent because I always felt like the relationship between my father and I was not what I want for me and my son. You know, it was almost like I want a transparent relationship with me and my son, where I think growing up for me, it was more of I had the role model who was the true role model without the transparency. You know, so I wasn't able to see the struggle or the hurt or any of that. You know, it was almost like, all right, it was a perfect picture painted for me. You know, and then it was like as I got older, like, shucks, I got some struggle here and there. You know, how do I handle the struggle? How do I handle the pressures? How do I handle these things? And sometimes, you know, as young people, you get to think that, you know, well, maybe I'm the only one going through this. You know, and it's not until you have groups like this where you get to talk amongst other people and build social skills and say, you know what, man, you're not the only one dealing with that. I deal with it too, you know. So I think it's great that, you know, y'all have the age difference and y'all able to really balance each other out because the language that you probably use, Melvin, is probably different from the language that Harry uses because you're from somewhat of a different generation. Right?
Not too much of a difference. I mean, Melvin is definitely up on the slang. He's up with the kids. A lot of times I can definitely relate to him a little bit more, but Melvin, he has that instinct where it's just like, let's get it done.
Absolutely.
You know, that's a Marine right there. You know, he's
Yeah.
first on the ground. You know, who's on the ground? I always give it to him.
Right.
But what I wanted to say is we're also learning from our young men. Some of our young men, they go through things that you couldn't imagine. You know what I'm saying? And we can relate to them, but then it's just like, wow, I'm learning from you as well. You know, when you're throwing that arm around somebody, they're throwing an arm right back around you.
Right.
Like I get that from all of our young men, from the youngest all the way up to our oldest. It's just like, you know, if you're speaking to them, would you take the time to listen to what they have to say? And I think that's a lot of times where our youth is failing because nobody's listening to what they have to say. And when you listen to what they have to say, you can actually learn something too.
Right.
And it's scary, man, how much stuff that these young men have taught me. I'm just speaking for myself. I can also speak for you. I know you've learned a lot as well. But this is definitely one of the most rewarding things that I've probably ever been a part of.
Right. And do you get paid for this?
Yeah, I get paid.
You do get paid?
I get paid in smiles and just knowing that, you know, it could have been the other way, you know?
But no monetary gain.
For what? What do we need money for? We're not worried about money.
What about for you, Melvin? Any monetary gain?
None.
None whatsoever.
None, man. It's this experience, Bruce, has been so fulfilling. You know, this is, you know, one of the things that we used to share a lot, and time to time we go back to it, is we try to get them to think about that recurring sound, that recurring voice in their mind. There's something about themselves that their mind keeps telling them, that the spirit keeps telling them that they are really interested in doing, something they should be doing. We try to get them to listen to it, think about it, start building towards it. Personally, when I was a child, for as long as I can remember, there was something in my mind telling me, you know what, you're gonna save the world. Literally, you're gonna save the world. I used to imagine myself as a superhero.
Right.
I remember telling my father one time, you know, I wanted to be like Superman. He said, well, why can't you just be the best Melvin Willingham you can be? You can be a hero, you know? But see, saving the world, to me, is not putting on a costume and a cape. You know, saving the world, you know, takes place one selfless act at a time. One selfless act at a time. That's how you save the world. You do something, two of these guys see me do something, they go out tomorrow, they do something for somebody else. Two people see each of them do something, they go out the next day, they do something else. Okay, 3 days later, one thing I've done has affected 8 people. Okay, so we tell them whatever it is in your mind that is telling you, hey, you're gonna do this. All right, let your parents know about it. Let your mentors know about it. Because from that point forward, we're gonna push you down that road. That's your passion. That's your purpose in this life. If you wake up every day, you're living your passion, you're working your purpose, there's your payment right there. It's a caveat if you get paid for it. You know, so no monetary, but what I get from being around these young men, their brothers, this young man right here, it's priceless.
Right.
It's priceless.
And, you know, I knew the answer before I asked. I knew you didn't get paid for what you do. But I wanted to ask because there's probably going to be somebody who watches this show and they want to know, well, why is it that these guys invest time in these young men? You know, if there's no monetary gain. And I'm one who believes that people should always follow their passion. And I tell people all the time when they say, well, how do I know what my passion is? Well, it's the one thing that you can do every day for free. You know, whether you get paid or not, you say, you know what, I can do this every day. Why? Because it fulfills me. Like I love Harry's answer. He said, I get paid in smiles. I love to see smiling faces, and I'm pretty sure it makes you feel good when you can impact somebody's life and know that somebody made the right decision instead of making the wrong decision because of some advice or counsel or information that you gave them, you know, time you invested in them. And I think that's applaudable. I applaud you for coming up with the organization, Makings of a Man. I actually like the name in itself, you know, because you guys are taking your life experiences and bringing it together and saying, hey, look, we're going to help some other young men so they don't have to go through certain things because they weren't informed. We want to inform them so that they can have the choice as to what they want to do. You know, it's different when you make the wrong decision and you didn't know. But it's another thing to make the wrong decision and you have all the information in front of you before you make the decision. I believe that you guys are providing that information for these young men before they get the chance to make the decision, you know? So before they get a chance to pick up a blunt or pick up a gun or pick up a bottle, you know, or sell a illegal substance, you know, they're having the information in front of them. They're having stories and testimonies before them, you know, that they're able to use that information and digest it to make appropriate decisions. And, you know, and I want to hear from you guys because I want to know how you feel about this program that you're a part of, Makings of a Man. And Makai, right? Since you got the mic, I'll start with you. First, tell us how old are you?
I'm 15.
15. So what is Makings of a Man for you? How do you feel about the organization?
I feel that it really helped me.
Okay.
It really helped me become the person I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in this program since I was in 6th grade. I'm in the 9th grade now. That's 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And before I joined this program, I was probably thinking about doing the stuff that stereotype average young black man would do in Baltimore, Maryland.
Right.
But I joined this program so that I wouldn't have to do it. And it helped me to think not to do those things.
Wow. Wow. That's great. Now, do you feel like this program is going to force you to want to bring some of your other peers into it?
Yes.
All right. And what school do you go to? Because I'm sure you...
Mergenthal.
Mergenthal. So that's nicknamed Mervo, right? Mervo. Okay. All right. You go to Mervo, which is over east. Yeah. All right. So Davin, right?
Sir,
That's Davin. All right. So Davin, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16. All right. So 15 to 16. So tell us what is Makings of a Man for you, and how has it impacted you?
It gives us a chance to meet other people, gives us someone to put our arm around, help up, and it gives us someone to pull resources from, someone to get support from. We can call on one of our adult mentors, we can ask for help from them, and it's a good way to get encouragement. It's like you can just call on one of them if you need help with something, from homework to like relationships, even it's like everything.
That's what we say, relationships. So you get to talk to them about the girls.
Yeah.
Hey, Melvin, I got this girl in my class, man. I don't really know what to say, so, can you help me out? Who gives the best advice for relationships, Melvin or Harry?
I mean, talk to him more often, so it's like,
That's his dad.
Yeah. All right, okay. All right, so we're gonna get the mic to Darius here. So Darius, man, tell us how old are you?
I'm 16.
16, okay, all right. So tell us what have Makings of a Man been for you?
Makings of a Man initiative. Let's see. It's a group where we come together, we have fun, and we learn things. We learn things at a young age, so when we get older, we can be better than. As Mr. Bennett says, we can be different people and not be a statistic. We want to be special men. We want to make an impact on the world. We want to be successful young men.
Right.
So with this group right here, it let us start early. From our group ages from 5, 6 years old to about 18.
Wow.
So with all the different ages here, it just let us come together and just hear from each age group and just learn new things.
Right. Can you imagine not being in Makings of a Man?
Man, I tell my mother every time, my mom be like, oh yeah, they not having boys group today. I'm like, man, what's going on? Come on now. I'm like, why we not having it? Oh, it's not happening. I'm like, come on now. I'll be mad, but I just wait till the next week. I'm like, all right, boys group coming next week. It's all cool.
That's good. That's good.
I can't see myself without this group. I learned a lot from everybody in the group, from the youngest to the oldest. I respect all of them. I have respect for them. I try to learn from the oldest, and I try to teach the youngest.
Wow. Now, would you say that this group has changed your life? Would you say that, because are you a member of the church as well?
Yes, sir.
All y'all members of the same church? All right, so that's how it kind of started. So would you say that this group helped impact your life outside of church and outside of the group? So when you're at school, when you're with your friends, do you keep and what's the word? Do you exemplify the principles that you learned from the group?
Well, I'm a goofy guy, so
Okay.
I'm just goofy, but I have learned, and I do keep the same attitude, the same everything that I do at the church. I try to keep it at my school.
Okay.
And even in my neighborhood, I just want to be a positive person inside my neighborhood and everything, where I can go to church and they see me as this person, and then I go to school or home and then they see me as a different person. I don't want to be like that. I just want to be as a everybody know we from this only person right here.
So what school do you go to, Darius?
I go to Randallstown High School.
Randallstown, okay. That's over west. You know, I gotta point that stuff out. And I didn't ask Davin, what school are you at?
Pikesville.
You at Pikesville. That's over west too. All right, cool. Now let me ask you this, because you know I find it fascinating whenever we can have young people come on and talk. What are your thoughts and feelings on your city after seeing the unrest that we experienced almost this time last year?
I see that nothing's gonna happen until we step up and change it ourselves. We can talk about it all we want, but until we get up and do something, nothing's gonna change.
Wow. Wow. What about you, Makai?
I'm gonna piggyback off what Davin said because I agree with him at the same thing. I mean, we can talk about the city being bad and us not doing nothing about it until I believe that if we really want to get something done, you gotta buckle down and do it.
Mm.
So if you really want to change the city and make an impact on it and change other people's lives and not just yours, you gotta do it. You gotta believe in it.
So how do you suggest we do it?
Like what we doing, a mentorship program to keep the young black males out the streets and not let them be enough statistic.
So let me ask you this, because you seem to be that outgoing. You seem like a spokesperson type guy, you know. And I can see why they made you a leader in the group, because you seem like that spokesperson for the group.
Mr. Know-It-All.
Mr. Know-It-All. That's it. I can tell that you, and I love it. I love your confidence when you speak. I love it, man. But let me ask you this: how do you suggest, or what do you suggest that makings of a man do to pull in more young men that could be impacted in a positive way, just like you were?
I say we usually go around the city every chance we can.
Mhm.
We travel around the city and we do what we can in the community and stuff. And we just hope that other people will see it and want to do it.
Right. So do y'all ever hang out and then people say, "Oh, hey, who are y'all? What are y'all part of? What do y'all do?"
All the time. All the time.
And y'all give y'all information, y'all like business cards or flyers or anything like that?
Yes.
Facebook page.
Facebook, you don't invite you to the Facebook page? Okay, cool. So have y'all brought in people just from having outings and people seeing y'all, they say, "Oh, I want to be, what is this? What's going on?"
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And how do your parents feel about, you know, they feel like, "Oh yeah, definitely, go to the group," you know? Is that, you know, how do your parents feel about you being in the
Well,
group?
I live with my grandmother and my mother, and they stay on me about it.
Okay,
They say you really need to go. Even if sometimes I come home from school and then I don't feel like going, I always go because I know it's going to help me in the end.
good. Now, have they mentioned any changes that they've seen in you since you've been in the group?
Most definitely.
That's good, that's good. What about for you, Darius?
What's the question again?
Well, so how do your parents or guardians feel about you being in the group? Do they notice a difference in you being in the group, being active?
Yeah, my mother see a difference in me. She see I'm more outgoing.
Okay.
I'm more funny.
Okay.
They see I'm more respectful. They see that I'm more about business. They see how I be serious with a lot of things and stuff.
All right. Now, lastly, and I'm gonna have y'all pass the mic to each other. So, Darius, you can answer this first. What is the one thing that you really want to leave this program with? What's the one thing you really want to get out of this program?
I want to leave the program with all the knowledge that I can get out of the two mentors that mentored me every Tuesday.
Okay.
You know, coming every Tuesday, every boys group, there's always something new that we learn. The last couple nights we learned about just different types of relationships and how we are accustomed to it. How this happens in real life. How this happened just inside our life, and how as young kids we don't really think about. We don't really try to acknowledge it until someone tells us it. Then we're like, "Oh yeah, that do happen." So they taught me a lot. You know, I respect both of them. I love both of them. I look at them as father figures to me because, you know, they pretty much just, you know, they there for me anytime I need them, you know. So I just want to leave out with learning more. I want to actually let people just join our group even more so we at 16, 17, 16, I want to be 50 50 and more consistent, you know? So, you know, so when I leave, because when I leave 100%, I want to see more kids there. I might just start my own boys group in a different state. Or just come back, you know, just give back to the neighborhood, you know?
All right.
So that's why I want to take that.
I like that. That's good. Now, Makai, before you go, Darius, I'm gonna tell you. No. You don't need the mic. I'm gonna just tell you something. You had an unfair advantage because I asked you first. So you know, Makai and Davin got a chance to think about what they were going to say now. So now it's probably going to flow off their lips a little easier. You know, you had to think about yours before you said it. Now they got to have hands together. You know, but come on, Makai. What you hope to leave the program with?
I want to leave this program with wisdom.
Okay.
Wisdom and decision making and passion to do it for other young black males when I get older. Cause I mean, if you do it, it's just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going and keep building. So like if they leave, us three could take over, and then when we leave, the other kids could take over, and it just keep going and everybody keep coming.
That's great. That's great, man. I like it. Davin, what about you?
I want to change the numbers. So last year, by December, we hit 300 homicides. We exceeded 300 homicides in 1 year.
Right.
So in order for that to change, as I said earlier, we need to buckle down and really make a change. We were ranked the 3rd most dangerous city in the nation this month, I saw. And more groups like this, if we network and get together, we can change it. Just change the mindsets of the people that are out here in the streets.
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, Melvin and Harry, I'm gonna tell you, man, I know you guys are like tickled proud because to have the type of impact that you have on young men who can sit on the stage and say that they want to take away knowledge, wisdom, and they want to make change. You know, they didn't say, "Oh, I want to leave making $100,000 a year. I want to leave with the advice to be able to get a girlfriend or wife." You know, they didn't ask for anything materialistic. They don't want anything that's attached to anything that the world shows us that we need to have to be successful. You know, they want to leave with things that anybody can give them. You know, and the thing I commend you guys on as well is that, you know, it don't take a college degree to mentor a young man. You know, it don't take you know, qualifications to give information and knowledge to these young men, and you guys are doing it free of charge on your own time. And these guys just said that they can't imagine not being in the program. You know, so I know this makes you guys proud. And we're running out of time. So last thing I want to do is Harry and Melvin, if you want to just look into the camera and let people know how they can contact you via social media, or however you want to have them contact you, and give them the information on how they can reach out to Makings of a Man, be it whether it's a man who wants to be a mentor, or a parent, or a young person that may be looking, saying, you know what, I want my child, or I want to personally be a part of the program to get the help and support. You can go ahead and give me your information.
All right, well, let me say this.
Okay.
We do encourage other men in the community to come out and be a part of what's going on at the Leonard E. Hicks Community Center. We're located at 2718 West North Avenue. It's 2 blocks west of Coppin, 2 blocks west of the train bridge. You can't miss it. But we do encourage men. Tavon Mason was just there last week working with us.
Wow.
We've had one of the most notable influences was Marshall Eddie Conway, former Black Panther Party, Baltimore City, was locked up for 44 years.
2 weeks out, he came and visited our young men, and it was a powerful, powerful moment. And he brought some gentlemen with him as well.
Right. We need men to come down and interact with our group, but not only because we want them to share their experience with the gentlemen that we have right now, but in order for us to grow, you know, we have to have that resource. We have to have that resource of more men, because although we love to be at 50, if we're at 50 and we're the only 2 that's there, then we can't really give these young men what they need. So, you know, what we need are more men. So you can definitely, if you're interested, you want to make an impact, you may not know exactly what it is that you can do. I'll tell you what you can do. You can come down to 2718 West North Avenue at 6:30 every single Tuesday. We'll be there. You know, we can help you to manifest what you want to do in the community, and you can help us to manifest our mission with these young men every Tuesday, 6:30. And yes, we are on Facebook, Makings of a Man, Male Youth Initiative. Just type it in, and you can see what we're doing, and you know, determine what you want to do, what you can bring to the table to help us out.
Just a small piggyback. Think about the class sizes that your kids are a part of. So if you have 30, 40 kids and one teacher, you know, how many kids is that one teacher really reaching? So for our group to be effective and for it to grow, we need you. So, like you said, we're here at 6:30 every Tuesday, Leonard E. Hicks Community Center.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. There it is, another well put together talk show, and I thank Makings of a Man for coming out, the co-founders and the young men, the young leaders that they brought with them. Again, another positive thing that's going on in our city, and there's more to come. So keep looking out for that name, Makings of a Man. And again, like they said, if you're a young person and you need something to be a part of that's positive, look for Makings of a Man. If you are a man and you're looking for something to be a part of to fulfill your passion, join Makings of a Man. It's a great organization, a faith-based organization, and I believe it's a great organization to be a part of. And I thank you guys. Harry, you got something? Harry got something?
Yeah, I got one last thing, man. I'm sorry for the last minute plug.
You good?
One of our leaders, he came up with an idea one day. He was driving in the car with his father, and he was like, "Dad, what's going on with Flint? It's not on the news. What's going on with Flint, Michigan?"
Wow.
It was actually Davin, and I'm going to let him speak on that because he's doing something really, really impactful, and we definitely want everybody to be a part of it. We'll keep it short and sweet.
Okay, great. Come on.
So first, when we heard about what was going on in Flint, we were like, we didn't really pay it too much attention. We were like, man, that's messed up. But as we saw it more on the news and as more people were talking about it, we decided we needed to make a change. So one day I was just in the car, we were talking about the group, we were talking about boys group, and I was like, why don't we just start a water drive? Since they use bottled water for basically everything. They gotta shower with it, they gotta cook with it, everything. So we decided if we can reach out to the church, we can ask them first. So that next Sunday, the following Sunday, we organized the meeting the day before, and we actually stayed up till 2 that night, and we organized our announcement. So we made the announcement, and that same day, we received a lot of donations. Like, people actually brought cases from their car in that same Sunday.
Wow.
And that first week, we had reached over 100 cases
Wow.
in donations.
Wow.
So our goal is 300 cases.
Wow.
So when we hit that, we'll be sending it.
Yeah, I'll be sending that over to Flint, Michigan. That's
Yeah.
great.
They say it ain't so black and white, and all lives matter, right? But Brad ain't dead in the street from police. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. But that's Tyrone, and that's Trayvon, and that's Deshaun. Pray for the black mom. See, they kill a nigga for the law. Kill a nigga for the law. The law of the land is darker the man than the heart of the hand. Dre Scott said it best. Ain't a law that a white man has to respect when it comes to a nigga. Court costs too much, that ain't just killers. Land of the free, but a monkey gotta listen. So that ain't really freedom, is it? See, it's all right when it's all white, but as soon as you get some black, like a thumbtack, we get pinned as the criminals for breaking laws we ain't given to. White man get a year, black man getting 2. Too many times, it's too cliche, but these days it seems like every other week it's a replay. Unarmed black man killed over white man fear, but they say it ain't so black and white. And all lives matter, right? But why Brad ain't dead in the street from police? Someone tell me if I'm wrong. But every time, that's Tyrone, and that's Trayvon, and that was Deshaun. Pray for the black mom. See, they kill a nigga for the law. Kill a nigga from a law, hit him from afar. Never get close enough to know what's up inside of our culture, cause you'd rather see him dead cause he stole some stuff. But wouldn't we all steal if we was poor enough? What if your girlfriend hungry with a swollen gut? What if you ain't got the money to afford a Dutch? They say an eye for an eye, but I never heard an eye for a head. You know, it's no trial date for the dead. I wonder if a democracy even a possibility, considering the foundation of violent racial history inside of America. That's America with 3 Ks. Start them young, call them pre-Ks. IRS will check the money that we made, knowing that we shouldn't have made it out of the PJs. You see, they call it a trap because it's a trap. And if you black, they want you trapped so they can tap any of your finances through a private jail system. You know they making millions of bonds and bail hearings, but you ain't hearing me. I tell the powers that be, not death nor jail, put fear in me. I be exactly what I'm here to be. Anyway, freedom ain't red, white, and blue, it's more Freddie Gray. But they say it ain't so black and white. And all lives matter, right? And why Brad ain't dead in the street from police? Someone tell me if I'm wrong. It's my time. I appreciate it. Come.